Bones are amazing things. They hold us up. They support us. They make us strong. But bones have other uses. In the past, bones were thrown by diviners, seeking out the mysteries of the future. Now the bones are cubes, made of plastic or resin, but they still reveal things to us. As they fall from our fingers and rattle across the table, the story becomes clear. Welcome to Bone Throwers Theater, an RPG actual play podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Bone Throwers Theater. This is Johnny playing the, I was going to be playing Chime North. We'll see how far we get with him. The scared to jump out of a building, Chime North.
This is Archi, the Human Torch, usually played by Ellie.
This is Jeff playing Jerr Lan.
This is Jeremy playing Julian. I'm a leaf on the wind. Wait, no, I don't want to say that. Illix.
This is Aaron playing Sam, Feluge, and Shade.
And I'm Jordan, and I am literally destroying what we have built as the game master. So we thought we would give you all a treat and reveal some information that has been boiling in the background for a while.
While things and characters are just literally hanging in the air, we're gonna jump to...
I bet you wonder how I got here.
Now, kids, this is how I met your mother. Yeah, I don't think we're going to meet Sam and Shade's mother at this point, but we are going to meet at least a different host of Shade, if I am not mistaken.
No, that is correct. Do you want me to set the scene?
Yes, please.
What I'm picturing?
What you are picturing. If I can just interject, there are going to be two primary characters. Shade's current host, and Shade, obviously, yes. And also Redneck's nearest, a.k.a.
Alexander Turin.
Before he took on the persona of Redneck's near.
Yeah.
Now, you pointed at me when you said that.
I was just kind of like talking with my hands.
Okay.
So that's, we're going back that far when Alexander Turin was leading the country of Marley. Before the fire.
Yes.
Before the thing that caused Alexander Turin to go into hiding.
Right.
So it opens up, and what you actually see in this scene is a chamber very similar to what you see at the bottom of the tower that we've been in. It looks like a little bit of a trial chamber / proving grounds. There's a pool of lava, and walking into the room are two people. One tall, blue eyes, handsome and charming. The other one shorter, darker hair, wearing, military fatigues, black, darker clothes. And you can kind of see he's trying to hide even when he's standing and playing with you. You hear the shorter one speak. Alexander, I really don't know why you would want to be on their side.
And we never established who Alexander actually is.
Oh, who the actor is. Okay. Do we want to roll for that, or...?
Roll off. Oh no! Jeff, don't use your dice tower. It's going to be Jeff.
I rolled a 6.
I rolled a 4. Johnny.
4.
All right.
Oh, wow.
So, why are you wanting to be on their side? They're weak.
Well, one, they're the people who come from this planet to start with. We're the invaders. No, we didn't necessarily choose to come here, but why can't we help them? Why can't we live together?
Do you really think they would ever coincide with us in a peaceful manner?
If we teach them how.
You've seen them. They're bloodthirsty. They're argumentative. Feel what your host is feeling right now.
Yes, look at our history too, before we came here. Why did we have to start traveling the stars?
To find new hosts.
Because of violence and war. These people are the most malleable of all the hosts that we've had in the past. Why can't we teach them peace?
Because neither us nor them were made for peace.
I believe otherwise. Their bodies are made to handle so many different types of tools, living situations. They have a large world that they can spread out in and live peacefully. We just have to teach them how.
Is that why you have come to rule this mega power, this military country, to teach peace?
Yes.
I'm telling you, I know what my host feels. I know these are a people of war, and they will never live in coexistence with us. Maybe individuals, but as a race, not at all. And if you are not willing to see that, I don't think I can let you leave this room.
Well, I can tell you that my host, yes, he desires power, but at the same time, he longs to help others. That's why he wants power, to get everybody further ahead.
What's the saying? Anyone who wants power is the least who deserves it.
Like I said, his desire for power is strictly to raise everybody up, not to keep it.
Look at this country. There's no raising everybody up. There's the ruling class, of which we are a part of, and then there's the servants. They break their backs to give us the life that we have.
That was the case before we came here, even, but look at it now compared to before we came, and the technological advances that even the servants have. Their lives are a million times better than they were before we came and started teaching.
Yes, and half of the technological advances that we make are machines of war.
They may start off that way, but they don't end up that way.
Well, friend, as much as this may pain me, I don't know if we're going to be able to come to an agreement on this. And this conversation is going to have to end here. With that, you hear the door to the chamber slam shut. Turlock turns towards Alexander and pulls a knife and lunges for Alexander Turret.
This is to show you that we can live peacefully together. Let's not get savage, just sits down on the floor, bleeding. Shade could see the elemental inside of him healing the wound. I hope someday you find a host that will teach you the same.
Someday, my host and I will have the knowledge necessary to finally end this.
Down there, he stands back up. You can see the bleeding has stopped. Says, "I'm sorry for this, but this host is too violent." And he disbonds Shade from the host.
So Shade feels this massive strength being pulled into this dark vortex, and it's not just Shade can feel memories slipping away, thoughts kind of being taken from him as he's pulled deeper and deeper into this darkness. Turlock then falls to the ground. His eyes are burnt out.
And Shade has been a vengeful spirit roaming to and fro upon the face of the earth ever since. So, flash forward to present day. Julian has flung himself off of a building. Sam has flung themselves off of a building. Jerr has flung themselves off of a building.
Themselves, dude.
Yes, there's multiple. There was multiple to begin with, now there's even more.
And Chine is holding onto the windowsill.
Like the wind is like blowing you around, like the buffeting you, and all of a sudden the building just kind of like does this whole shudder where it like picks up like 3 meters and then drops another 5. Go ahead and roll.
I let go. The question is, which direction do I fall?
Yeah.
Well, you were tilting towards the upside, so if you fall, you're falling back into the building.
Yeah.
So, what am I rolling? Just physique or?
Yeah, go ahead and roll physique.
Okay. I rolled a 13.
Ooh, would you like to spend a character point?
Sure. 15.
That's what you needed.
Okay.
Alright, so you are not falling back into the building.
Yeah, I guess I'm falling out of the building. Putting myself forward a little bit.
But not on purpose.
No. I'm trying to hold on to the building so I just lose my grasp.
You're falling with style.
Yes. Style meaning tumbling and
flailing.
I hate you guys!
You're not sure once you actually hit the water if you were soaked all the way through, if people would notice the stain on your pants.
Alright, so I fell out of the building into the water.
Okay, cool. So no one is in the building that is falling.
Well, none of our group.
But Archie is still underneath the building. So, Archie,
Yes.
the other android approaches you.
The one that jumped down.
The one that jumped out of the...
Yep.
Archie raises a hand quickly for defense.
Okay. I see you accomplished your mission.
Archie
Yeah.
slowly lowers his hand, says, "Yes, mission has been completed."
Excellent. Huracan is pleased.
A smile grows on Archie's face. Wonderful. I am always happy to please.
I am glad you are happy to please me. Please compress all recent memories and upload, going back to leaving the preserve for the second time.
There's actually a bit of pause, and for the first time ever, he speaks to Huracan with the question, why? Why must I do this again?
Identification purposes.
I aim to please.
So Huracan goes through, takes the memory packet that you upload, scans it, and finds images of the rest of the party. He goes, you're along for the digital ride at this point, and starts accessing the cameras throughout Consiglio. Because, for the council, there are eyes everywhere. And he basically follows the paths that you all have traveled. It goes quick. This is all within milliseconds because computer speed. Safe house location acquired. New mission parameters.
When do I begin?
Immediately.
Archie begins to walk away, halts and turns around and says, will they get hurt?
Not if you're quick.
Archie immediately turns around and starts running.
Is there anyone you would like to contact?
Yes. As Archie's running, he says, ignite. This small...
Flame on!
You did say that you were the human torch.
I know. So Archie's running, and he says, ignite, and a small flame occurs in his hand as he's running, in his right hand.
Okay.
And he whispers, Alex.
Julian, you have just climbed out of a giant pillow of water.
You're welcome.
A waterbed, so to speak. Well, I would imagine, Jerr, that you're able to actually, direct tendrils of water to, catch people at the proper angles so that, the viscosity isn't causing, the awkward turtling your way through and retire. So, anyway,
Very
Julian,
well cinematographed.
Yes.
you just crawl out of a water bottle.
No, Julian, one reason he's doing this, because he knows he's still standing next to a building that is collapsing.
Yes.
Is going to move away from it.
Yes.
Quickly.
So you're going to go ahead and run.
Second reason, what he said before he jumped kind of had a double meaning for Julian, because Julian has a sense that things are about to change for the group once they hit the ground, because he knows there's something up with Jerr.
Yeah, I really haven't given you guys a lot of time to stop and think about it.
No.
Nope.
I've barely had time to process it, and it happened to me.
So Julian is going to start to run off, and he's going to intentionally look back and try to get Sam to acknowledge where Julian is going. Julian is trying to make eye contact with you
Yeah.
and going in a certain direction.
Yeah, and Sam's actually going to also be trying to keep a bubble of air kind of around us because there's going to be dust
There's
and all this
gonna
stuff
be
occurring
like a current, yeah.
to try to keep clear air around us.
All of a sudden, a still small voice in your ear says, Illix.
Julian, while running, is going to be looking around, but he's going to continue to run.
The last element you connected to was fire.
Since Julian consciously didn't do it, he's going to try and drop from that fire elemental because he didn't think to do that before.
Okay.
So maybe he thinks he's still connected.
So, Archie, you have tried to connect with Julian, and something seems to be
Not
amiss.
connecting.
Archie's gonna pose his hand in a fist that had been holding the fire. He's not deterred from running for the given mission, and thinks to himself, I'll try again later,
All right.
and continues running towards completing the mission that was given.
Sounds good.
Doing your non-details.
Right.
I like to be mysterious. I like to leave things open-ended mostly.
Me too.
So I'm assuming by that conversation that everybody's running in the same direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, now a huge portion of the dome at the very top is starting to fall in.
Yep, that's another reason Julian is running.
Yeah, and also, if you head towards the southeast, then the crack that has been running up from the top from
gosh.
the original problem area is actually starting to collapse in even further.
So Julian would see that running is actually going to veer southwest.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Towards the sanitation station.
Yeah, towards the Healing Hands base.
Oh.
Oh, how convenient.
Maybe. Now that the dome is correct, what time of day is it? Because we have lost all sense of time since the lights have been perpetually in a state of what does the council want to illuminate or not.
Yeah.
We don't even know what time it is.
It's a very cloudy early afternoon.
Okay.
So you want to go to the Healing Hands?
No, I was just saying this is the direction towards that we're going. Not that Julian is heading there. Julian's actually looking for the first safe place to duck and cover and hunker down.
Yeah, let's stop and think for a minute.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me, even or odd.
You want me to roll?
Yeah.
Odd. It's even.
Okay. Things are just chaos.
Yeah.
People are running out into the street. Air raid sirens are going off. You can see kaiju, like, in the distance, swarming over different buildings.
Honestly, I'm still surprised that their systems running, that sirens would be going off at this point.
Military sirens, yeah.
And then I think that's the big thing, is trying to find a place of safety for the immediate moment.
Yeah.
So we can discuss
Even or
next steps.
Even.
All right, you are able to find a location.
Yes.
What does it look like?
It's an old grocery store in the back rooms.
Some small children have recently excavated.
Yes.
As soon as we walk in there, we see that it's safe. Sam's going to turn around to Jerr and say, "What happened to Katana?"
Julian's twisting the gauntlet, and he does it in a way where he's going to turn to Sam away from everyone else, twists it, and you see it's at the water portion of his gauntlet, and he opens it and closes it really quickly, and he's going to try and connect to water.
I guess Jerry is the man with all the answers at the moment.
Do you look like you're threatened?
Julian looks like he's unsure of something.
Okay. Sam's going to probably take a cue from that as well. And while asking, maybe even reaching for a gun.
To answer your question, she was killed by the Void
Why would the Void kill Katana?
because I healed her.
Was she sick?
Like,
She had to have been
virus?
sick to be
I'm dropping a fate
be
point on that.
a monster like that. Everyone is sick.
I got it.
Are you feeling okay, Jerr?
37 to connect.
Okay.
Something happened while I was up there.
I think you do it.
Yeah.
What kind of something happened to you?
While I was up there, the Void tried to disbond my elemental from me and put in another one.
Can Julian now sense two water elementals?
Now that it's been explained, yes.
Julian's going to try and connect to the one he doesn't recognize.
To Shade's eyes, is it still just the one?
Is there something that you can roll to positively identify? Because, like, that's something that Julian can actually do.
I mean, so we know the elementals can see each other.
Right.
And can recognize each other. So the question would be is if it would be maybe a perception or a knowledge. But I don't know if that's something. I mean, this has been a vengeance quest for 1,000 years or however long it's been. So I don't think it's a knowledge.
Close to it.
I think that this has been so long in the making that there's a strong chance that Shade's desires have warped their memory.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it could be a rather high roll.
For perception?
Yes.
Okay.
But you can definitely try.
I mean, Shade only has 1D in perception.
Right.
So
and you do need healing.
You're still wounded.
Oh yeah, but Shade isn't.
This may sound like the weirdest thing you've ever heard, but I'm now bonded to 2 water elementals. The second one that they tried to force into me accepted my bond, as well as the one I already had.
And Julian's talking to the second one. He says, "Who are you?"
Unity.
So Sam
We're
to
going to kind of do this back and forth kind of thing.
Yeah, Sam to Jerr. We've seen that before. That was what happened to Abraham, Noah. Who was the kid?
Abel.
Some old
Testament name. A child about to be sacrificed. You know,
Isaac.
It happened to Abel. He had multiple bonds. And your bonds are stable?
Those were forced upon him. These are stable. This was accepted, not forced. And before bonding, I healed the elemental using my elemental. It was such a surreal experience because I was seeing it all from outside of my body and using my will and force of strength of mind and spirit to bond the two together as one, like brothers.
Julian, kind of back and forth, is still trying to listen to this, and the one thing he picked up on was the outside of my body kind of thing, that statement.
Yeah.
And Julian's putting two and two together from all the conversations that the group has had about the void, is going to slowly he's drawing his pistol out from his jacket, and to the elemental is going to say,
To Unity?
to Unity, to
Okay.
the water elemental he was.
The named water elemental.
Yes. And who is your host?
Jerr.
Julian, still connected, is just going to kind of abruptly turn towards Jerr, back away, raise his pistol, and they're like, you were just with the void. How do we know that you're still Jerr?
Sam would follow suit because Sam trusts Julian's connection, and
I'm kind of looking at Julian confusedly.
Not at Sam, but at Julian.
That's oh, we're pointing guns, fire! Yeah.
Exactly.
I will give you a fate point if you try and calm everybody down in this situation.
That's why I was looking at Julian confusedly. Like, what are you talking about? Like, the void separates.
Separates a human consciousness from their body.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they was trying to do with Delby?
Look, why don't we all?
This is why the elementals retain knowledge and likenesses of previous hosts.
All right, Jerr, you seem to know a lot more now than you used to. Julian, why don't we just take a minute, calm down, take a breath, and figure out what's going on here. What exactly happened? We only know that he confronted the void at this point. We need to get more details before you start shooting anybody.
No one's shooting anybody.
Yes.
But I don't know if this is Jerr.
Calm down until we
I
can
filled
figure
his
things
lungs
out.
with water so that he couldn't do anything.
I'm rolling up
And then the
persuasion.
android ran away with him.
You're going to roll persuasion,
Yeah.
Chine?
And elementally in his head, Julian's again is going to say, all right, Turin, convince me that this is still Jerr.
Turin's elemental will say, then talk to Bond.
I rolled a 20 to persuade Julian to just lower his gun.
James?
No, the other elemental's name is Bond.
I was thinking James Bond too, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
Well, that is a development.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, it works.
Julian is confused. Because
Uh-huh.
Julian's like, who is Bond?
He did not gain his name until the connection was accepted on both sides.
So I just rolled a 20 to persuade you to put your gun down. Not drop it, but not be pointing it.
Willpower.
Yeah. Alright. Julian is not backing down from his stance that he needs some answers.
No, I'm not telling you to.
So he looks at Chime kind of with this annoyed look on his face, lowers his gun, reaches into his coat, and you hear the machete slide out. And then he takes a step towards Jerr and just stands there.
But this does sound like a good spot to take a break, so we are going to go ahead and do that. We'll be back right after this.
As a geek with a life outside of gaming, it can be hard to stay informed. The Sometimes Geek podcast is your weekly update of all the major video game news, brought to you with the insight of an everyday gamer. Episodes are kept short and to the point, so you have more time to spend playing games instead of reading about them. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and at sometimesgeek.com. The Sometimes Geek podcast, because we can't be geeks all the time.
And we're back! 3, 2, 1. Fight?
No, we're trying to avoid fighting.
I know. But I'm a bad influence.
Well, I'm trying to avoid fighting anyways.
So Julian just took a step with his machete towards Jerr after lowering his pistol.
Which sounds so not threatening comparatively.
Jerr, Start at the beginning. What happened after you were taken from us?
Alright. We vanished, and I appeared in a chair with the Void's thumb pressed against my forehead. I tried to stop him and get him off of me, but he had already pushed my mind and spirit from my body. Before I left it completely, and before my elemental had gone away completely, he started to shove in another water elemental. And the water elemental had doubts and fears, and I started to play on those to try and get it to leave and allow me to regain my body with my water elemental. But then I heard them talking about who the water elemental probably was.
And that was?
Alexander Turin. Redneck's near.
So you say it.
You say both?
I say both. And I changed my tactic from defeating the water elemental to healing it. And then using my abilities that I have gained since learning to disbond elementals and with healing the root virus, I healed the elemental that you know as Unity. Looking to Julian.
What is the setup? Where is everybody standing here? So I imagine we're kind of flanking Jerr.
Well, Julian kind of stepped right in front of Jerr.
Like how far away? Like 3 feet, 4 feet?
Within striking distance of the machete.
So I would have been then behind
yes.
Jerr.
But at the mention of Alexander Turin and connecting that with Redneck's near,
he is the elemental we've been searching for.
Julian slowly puts his machete away, puts his pistol away, kind of wipes his face a little bit, takes a step back, reaches back for his rifle, and is now backing away in more ways than one.
Julian, stop. We need Archie to finish this properly.
That's why we were looking for this elemental, wasn't it?
Well, we don't know what Archie wanted with this elemental.
I do.
How do you know what Archie wanted with this elemental?
It's the same reason I want this elemental.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because we didn't, until 2 seconds ago, we didn't know this was the same elemental. And Archie has never said why he wanted this elemental. The Animal Preserve has never said why they wanted this elemental.
Hasn't the Animal Preserve always been in league with the Helping Hands?
Healing Hands.
Healing Hands? I do it every time.
You always do that.
I would have agreed, but if you remember the reel-to-reel box. Oh, Sam, you weren't here for the Animal Preserve has cut ties.
With all, yes. With all but themselves.
And apparently, this additional elemental knows this. And has known this.
If you've ever trusted Shade, trust us on this. We need Archie. Lower your rifle.
If you have ever trusted Jerr, if you've ever trusted me, I am Jerr.
I don't know if this is Jerr or not, but I know that we need Archie.
Julian lowers his rifle. You see him spin the thing, stops it on fire, clicks it, and he turns and walks out of the grocery store. He's gonna try and find Archie.
Now you want to find.
No, it was Archie.
You know, if Archie tries to reach out to you, not
nope.
good enough.
Looks like Archie's not listening.
So it's a tit for tat, essentially, is what I'm hearing.
Phone tag.
Sassy Archie unlocked.
I think Sassy Archie was unlocked with a block of cheese at the very first episode that Archie appeared in.
13. I'm going to spend some character points. Just because it's within reach. For number 2. I got it. I needed a 21, and that's my 21. 2 character points down.
Also, Sam never put their pistol away.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Oh, I noticed that too.
I just wanted to make it very clear.
I noticed that too.
So can Julian locate Archie? Is
think
Archie within 1 kilometer?
Nah, he's running too fast for you.
I mean, it depends on where you are running to.
Yeah.
you're running towards the Healing Hands camp.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Which is, oddly enough, the same direction that we were going. Thank you, cracking the dough. So, Julian was going to reach out to talk to Nidog. And Julian's like, Nidog, where are you headed? This is Julian. Obviously. Know this.
Well, this is the only person that can talk to you, so,
There's no time for vague answers right now. So, where are you headed? And why'd you just peace out on the rest of the group?
Healing Hands. That's where I'm heading. You know, I tried to contact you earlier. Where were you?
Completing the mission that you sent us here for.
Seems I've deterred from said mission at this point.
Is finding this elemental no longer important?
Finding this elemental.
No. Okay, stop. Julian's frustrated. He's like, stop where you are. Let me catch up with you. I want to talk to Archie.
That's unfortunate. I must keep going to complete my mission.
You have conflicting missions here, and he's now gonna go on the persuasion side. I've got some intel that Archie needs to hear. I need to know that it's actually Archie hearing it and not just the elemental. So, we're actually not that far from each other. It's not gonna hurt you to wait around just a moment or two for me to catch up to where you are, or
Stop
for you
talking.
to turn around.
It does not need to hurt me, but it may hurt you.
Excuse me, I'm the one that's in control of this conversation right now.
I'm afraid neither of us are in control.
Stop where you are. Because it'd be in the best interest for everybody to just stop so I can catch up to you. I have information critical that I need Archie to hear.
I'm afraid I cannot.
Sounds like a bit of a persuasion.
Power down.
Goodbye, guys.
It's a opposed willpower.
so you roll your willpower.
This is the highest I've rolled. 77.
10.
Nice.
Archie slows down, halts, and stands still, and says, "Command accepted."
So Julian's gonna go to Archie.
Sounds good. Is anybody else going?
Julian didn't announce where he was going.
He really just walked out of the room
Okay.
in a huff.
So,
Jerr, standing in the same spot, is going to turn around and face Sam and say, "Why do you want this elemental?"
I think we should wait until we're all here to discuss this.
In the meantime, Sam, you're still limping. Is there anything you can do to help that?
Sam, would you allow me to heal you?
Of course, Jerr. I would allow you.
Thank you.
Oh!
No!
Oh my goodness.
I wanted
The tower has failed you.
Well, I mean, all you needed was an 8, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for your initial roll.
I got a 9.
With 5 dice.
that sounds like a standard chef roll.
I noticed he abandoned the dice tower.
You got a lot more.
Is that what your plus 2D?
Yeah. My medicine is 4 plus 2d, so it's 6.
Oh man, that's not a good roll.
No, he rolled a
What
lot.
all you need is a 15.
To raise me by 1
Yeah.
wound level. So
No, it's actually less than 15 for wounded, but I don't remember what it is.
But yeah.
For severely wounded, it was.
So it raises me up to stunned, which only lasts a round.
Yes.
Thank you, Jerr.
You're welcome.
And then
Jerr holds up his fingers.
I also back a step away after you.
Yeah, Jerr holds up his finger and says, "Before you think any further, you have been forgiven.
Thank you, Jerr.
And not just by me.
Yeah, I'm very confused by that statement.
Shade has been forgiven. And not just by me.
Shade has let me know he needs no forgiveness.
Duly noted."
You have two elementals inside you.
Noted.
Yes.
You have two elements inside you. You know how to disbind an element from somebody.
Yes.
Were you going to disbind one of these elements from you?
And find it a new host?
Tracking back to, this is out of the game, tracking back to when I was learning, I could only do it to other people. I couldn't do it to myself.
Disbond yourself.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would have. Before fully accepting the bond with my elemental.
All right. So, now that a thematically appropriate amount of time has passed, Julian meets up with Archie, powered down, standing on a corner, looking at some birds
I thought it was Archie
In the
was in the sewer.
in the sewer.
So the manhole, some cover pops off.
Sewer birds.
In other words, rats.
Yeah. Julian hops down into the sewer, closes the cover, walks up to Archie, says, Archie. That means Nidog and Power are on now.
Archie begins to walk forward. Yes? Tries to push past you.
No, stop. Stop. Full disclosure, we gotta know what's going on. No. I have to know what's going on. We have trusted you, Archie, to follow you back to Consiglio on this mission to find the water elemental of Rednack's Near. Your original water elemental. We, meaning the rest of us, have done that. Now, along the way, we've also discovered that the animal preserve, which sent us on this mission, is now cutting ties with everything. So I can only assume that that is what this new mission you are claiming to be sent on is all about. So you're going to Healing Hands to do what? Get rid of the evidence?
You see Archie fighting himself to speak the knowledge that he has. And he finally says, I fear if I tell you that you may get hurt, that the others may get hurt. He whispers, afraid. Silence out. And he continues walking with a purpose towards Healing Hands.
Julian's going to walk alongside.
Archie's walking along, quickening his pace, and without missing a beat, looks towards Julian, saying, isn't it wonderful? The fear that we can instill in others. Oh, they steal from us. We'll cut off their hands. If they talk against us. Cut off their tongues if they rise against us. We'll cut off their heads and put them on a pike and raise them high. For all to see. Isn't it wonderful, this fear? And then he turns back and continues on.
So Julian, still keeping pace with Archie, is going to say, so that's how we're doing this now?
That's how it's always been done.
I mean, we can do that now to Redneck's Near's water elemental. We've got it, right? Is that what you wanted? To destroy it in that manner? Is that what you wanted as well? We got it. Let's go. Let's go do it.
You see Archie's hands turns into fists by his sides, keeping time with his steps. And he slowly turns his head towards Julian with a smile, but then a tear running down his face. I can't. I'm afraid. And turns back and keeps walking slower and slower.
I mean, there's nothing to be afraid of. I mean, Sam's there. Jerr's there. Chine is there. All your friends are there. I mean, they're your friends, right?
Are you still sensing Archie's elemental?
Yes.
Okay. You sense a fight going on within, and Archie stops in place and turns his full body this time towards Julian and says, yes, that is my purpose, is to save my friends. And that's why I must go to Healing Hands as well. He made me a promise. Go, you're safe. You see a smile creep on his face. I'm back on mission. And keeps walking.
And Julian stopping for a split second and then shouting ahead is like, but Archie, I'm your friend too, right?
Not as much as me. And from a corner just ahead, you can sense another fire elemental.
Oh boy. Audibly, he hears this, or in his head?
Audibly.
Okay. A fire elemental he recognizes.
From the top of the tower.
Okay. Julian's going to shout ahead. So, are you the one pulling Archie's strings?
Archie is not a puppet. Archie is a member of a body, a unit of cohesion.
I mean, to be cohesive, one shouldn't fear it.
And my old friend should not be stuck in this hellhole of working with its failure of a son, a crackpot lunatic who only believes in conspiracy theories. a spirit obsessed with revenge and hiding from themselves, and an old man who never wanted a gift he was given in the first place. This shell is far more powerful than you would ever imagine. And this idea that he has to be tied to this skeleton or enslaved to a meat bag is just absolute hogwash.
I mean, but I'm sure you can see it. And he's looking at Archie, he's like, there's a conflict even within that shell. There's going to be a conflict even within the meat bags.
The conflict is something to overcome. You just need help.
Yes, but who's going to overcome it?
I am.
So sure.
Now, do you want to leave and let us continue with our end task? Or do you want to be a minor detour on the path of greatness?
So Julian is going to continue talking. Say, detour on a path of greatness. Now, this greatness that you wish to achieve, and all while he's doing this, he's just kind of
playing with his bracelet.
Yep. He's going to drop the connection. He's going to go back to water. He's going to try and connect to water that is close by.
Okay.
And still trying to come up with an eloquent argument that is just stalling for time at this point. Is saying, on the path to greatness, you can take the quickest route kind of thing. Your path right now is taking you, you're going to have a lot of detours on that route. Just trying to slow up the conversation. And he's going to try and connect to water, dropping on this. And definitely got it. 36, and I needed a 24. Now, we probably are pretty close to where the Healing Hands cave was. Just trying to connect to Kodarar.
Gotcha.
So, all while he's saying this, he's connecting to Kodarar. Is Kodarar there?
Yes.
While he's talking to this other android, is going to tell Kodarar elementally, pack up, get out, run. They are coming to kill you. Pack up, get out, run, now. They're close. I am stalling, run, now. Let me know you've heard this.
Acknowledged.
Okay.
And you start feeling a frenzy of activity.
Okay.
It's like adrenaline has been just injected into the bond between you and Kodarara.
Okay. Alright. He's gonna drop that connection.
Okay.
And continue back with this conversation. Look, this path to greatness that you're on, a couple ways that this could play out.
You're boring me.
Look, you're hell-bent on war. Are you prepared to fight all of humanity, or just one faction of humanity?
I'm not ready to fight anybody. I'm ready to exterminate.
I'm going to let you know, it's not going to be that easy. There are some of us as humans that have the ability to fend and fight for ourselves. There are others that do not. But those others that do not, they're not going to just lay down and let you do it.
I'm just going to boil the water now and hope you cook. The water around Huracan's feet begins to bubble.
He quickly rolls back to fire. He's going to click on it.
It's starting to spew steam.
And he's going to try and connect to fire.
Your legs are starting to get warmer.
He's going to hop up onto the side where there's no water. Oh my gosh, I got it. Wow.
That is a pretty roll.
So that's 18 plus 10, that's a 28 right there.
Yep. Dang it, plus 2. 31 short. But I definitely connected.
Okay.
Now, since he's sensing fire, he can connect at will to any fire elemental in the
general
vicinity.
Yes.
He's going to start by connecting to He doesn't know that it's Huracan, but he's going to connect to the other android's fire elemental.
Yes. It is old, and it is mean. Like, this is the most malignant individual elemental you have ever come across.
Okay. Julian's still going to try and persuade it. To at least arrange a time to broker a treaty between elementals and inmates.
Okay. That's going to be a very, 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 very high roll.
Come on, 77.
Right?
20. Yeah. Not as good as last time, but still.
Not shabby.
Not shabby. 71. Still pretty high.
Yeah.
That's almost godlike.
That's 40 above legendary.
I appreciate
40 above. That's double legendary.
I appreciate how you're trying to persuade me.
It's legend. Wait for it, Gary. Legendary.
It's
Not bad,
legend.
it's
Wait
not
for it. Whole season break. Dairy.
It's legend. Take your lactose intolerant pills because it's dairy.
Are you and your hype man done?
Never.
It's legendary.
Thanks. I heard that.
2 times. 2 times legendary.
That's great. It's not enough.
Oh, come on.
He reaches over and he grabs the stone embankment that you're on, and he starts heating it, trying to melt the stone.
I mean, honestly, I rolled a 71. I mean, what else can I do?
For persuasion, yes.
What's Archie doing to this?
Yeah, I know.
While this connection has been going on back and forth, Archie has been walking back towards Julian and Huracan. And imagine the lighting is like, you can't fully see him coming back until he's in, the area.
Yeah.
So he comes back into a visible place, and he looks at Huracan. You broke your promise. And he turns to Julian and he says, "Let's go," and reaches out his hand and walks over.
Could you make me a presence roll real quick?
No.
We're going to go ahead and take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll find out what's going on in Archie's mind.
Rashomon, a land where spirits roam and witches rule. 3 women are embroiled in a divine plot, and it is up to them to uncover why. Join the adventures of the Broadswords at thebroadswords.com.
And we're back. So, Archie was rolling presents.
Rolling your presents.
I want you to know that I'm rooting for you.
Oh, gosh. Oh.
That's not
That's
good.
not very good.
That is really
Really
not
bad.
good.
It's just presents.
12.
So
It's just presents. So you rolled a 12 for presents, trying to break beyond the programming. Trying to get around Huracan's hacking of your OS so that the true Archie can shine through.
Yes.
For the moment, you are in control. But it is going to be a battle.
but a battle that can be supported with friendship.
Friendship!
Archie was standing there with his hand out. Julian reaches out and takes Archie's hand.
Okay.
Were we fighting Huracan now? Is that what?
Do you want to fight? Do you want to run?
With our powers combined, you throw fire and I throw insults. Go.
We're the Wonder Twins. Something useless. Something useless. I don't know which one is better, to sit here and try and fight Huracan or just run. Alright, I think we're just going to try and skedaddle.
So you want to run?
Well, Archie said, "Let's go," so we're going.
Mhm.
We're not staying here.
We're going.
Sounds fun. Oh, you're running. You can roll your run.
And that's a 6.
What'd you get?
22.
29.
I got 16.
Haha!
So you're booking it. You're running through the sewers.
With the power of friendship.
With the power of friendship, yeah. Do you want to continue as is in the sewers, or do you want to pop up above the ground and keep on running?
Hop up.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll presence.
Be awesome.
Further away she gets from the easier she exists.
12.
You're good. So every once in a while, as you're running back towards where you left the rest of the party, Archie stops for just a moment, kind of does a little bit of a data head flick, and keeps on going, just for a visual reference. All right, so what has been going on in the safe house, if you could call anything a safe house in this town right now, while you were waiting for Julian to return?
Well,
Jerr is just going to let things stand as Sam wants them to happen.
you said wait till everybody gets here.
Yeah. And Sam
That's
has
it.
been more or less chilling at the door. Trying not to look like guarding the door, but definitely guarding the door.
What is Chime doing?
Time's exploring the building a little bit.
Okay.
See what else there is in here besides just the abandoned grocery store that's been ransacked.
There is like a fitness center next door. There's a dentist's office. A couple of doors down, there is a restaurant. Across the street, there is a mechanic shop. There are some buildings that look a little less well maintained than others. There's a bookstore. That is pretty much what's around
Okay.
the local
Well, the
area.
only thing that really would interest me of exploring would be the
Mechanic shop.
mechanic shop, but that's across the street, and I don't know that I want to go over there just yet.
And it sounds like, don't know if Sam would allow you to go across the street. That's what it sounded like, that Sam was trying not to guard the door, but guarding the door, meaning trying not to let anybody in or out.
Quick storyline question, out of game.
Mm-hmm.
When we fought Abel,
Mm-hmm.
do we know that you convinced the elemental to disbond and leave him?
Yes.
Okay.
Because eventually Julian relayed the story of him and his mother and how he could use his power to disbond
Okay.
and explain the Abel thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Julian and Archie arrive. And I'm assuming Sam will just let them in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Did you guys come running in? Are you panicked? Are you being followed?
Were we being followed? Julian could sense that.
You might not have the most time.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a presence roll, Archie.
Nope.
7.
Character points. You have plenty.
I do. Plus 5 equals 12.
Okay. Just holding on.
My
So
character
as
points.
Julian walks in the door, he's kind of got a very worried look on his face, and he's like pulling at his ear, kind of looking. It's like as he's passing by Sam, he's like, something's not right with Archie. There's another fire elemental that I think is in control of more than we know,
Okay.
and I still don't think. I don't think that's Jerr.
It's partly Jerr. The other elemental, we need Archie's help, plus mine, to kill it.
To kill it.
Yes. Fire and air combined can create a tight enough shield to close on and evaporate a water elemental.
Hold on. I'm
assuming this is like kind of like
Yeah, off to the side conversation, yeah.
Julian's kind of like rubbing his forehead, squinting his eyes, and he kind of like so it just takes the city imploding for you to finally tell me that the elementals can be killed.
Shade just told me this.
Yeah, okay.
It totally sounds like Julian believes you on that one.
Not every elemental is the same.
I'm fully aware of this. Fully aware of this. Not every elemental is the same. Not every common's the same. Not every innate is the same.
Not every elemental can be killed the same. It depends on its type.
Yes, I get that. But more to my point, probably not every elemental is deserving of that fate.
This one is.
How do we know this?
Because this one is on the wrong side of the coming conflict.
What is the right side of the coming conflict?
Our side.
Ours as in who?
Humanity's.
Sounds like you might need to make a persuasion roll.
No, it's definitely a con.
A con roll?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is definitely a con.
Because when you say our side, he means elementals.
Subjugators.
Yes.
To be specific.
And this is back to that, I am definitely playing on our friendship. Because would Shade and Sam lie to you at this point?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Julian's not resisting this.
10,
How many dice did you roll?
5, 12. 48.
I'm gonna drop. Probably not. You got to be kidding me.
Did you get like 47?
43.
Trust me on this. He needs to be stopped.
Alright. I have no doubt that is what you believe. However, there are so many factions going on right now that I don't know what to believe, honestly. Archie, something's not right with Archie. Archie was about to go kill everybody in Healing Hands. In the hideout, kids. The programming side of Archie is fighting the elemental side of Archie. The programming side of Archie did not want to do this.
Archie, make a presence roll.
Elemental side obviously did, and that's when this other fire elemental showed up and was about to kill us both.
Well, you're skirting by. You notice in the background, Archie twitch his head.
If I notice, and it's like, and he points, just like that. So
Jerr is going to, noticing this, Archie doing this, walk over and trying to find out what's going on with Archie and if he can heal it.
Okay.
That'd be interesting.
17, and I need the 8.
Yeah.
That was not as good as I needed it to be.
You got it.
I got an 18 to heal Archie.
You can tell that the elemental is in turmoil because they are fighting something that is embedded into the computer system. You can try and basically, it's like removing the thorn from the lion's paw, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be a permanent fix because who knows what exactly happened.
True.
Julian is convinced that that's fully what Sam and Shade thinks is the best course of action. Because there's multiple people that apparently think that.
Yeah.
But trying to figure out where all these different sides and opinions actually fall as what factions are what, that's where Julian is hung up on.
We know Archie felt that this elemental needed to die.
No.
No.
We know.
I thought we were after the elemental put back into Archie's chassis.
Yes.
That was the original thought, but then Archie kept being very apprehensive of finding this elemental and what needed to be done once it was found.
We know Archie was looking for this elemental before they were most recently corrupted. After we take care of this elemental, we can try to find a way to take care of Archie again. I think with the 5 of us, Jerr included, we can take care of this elemental. If you convince it to despond, while Jerr focuses healing on himself, myself and Archie can contain and kill this elemental.
Jer's not going to go along with this. That I am for sure of.
Out of game, Jerr cannot help you go through with this. Because as he bonded to it, they bonded together.
Oh.
It's a tri-bond.
Okay.
It is bond and unity
Yeah.
at the same time. There's no separation at this point.
It's like putting water in water. You cannot separate water from water. That was out of game.
Yeah.
So,
But you said Jerr would not go through with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like, who this was? This was Redneck Near's elemental. This is Jer's teacher. Jer's definitely not going to go along with that. If it's still Jerr. If it's not still Jerr, It's definitely not going along with it, because the void takes out the consciousness and puts in another elemental to take sole possession of the body. That's what we learned, right?
That is what we learned.
So, if it's Jerr, it's not going to want that. If it's not Jerr, and it's actually this other elemental, it's not going to want that.
Then, as much as I regret it, it still needs to be done.
I'm smiling and confident because I know how I'm going to respond to you either way.
Yay, moral quandary. Julian's been hit with a lot of moral quandaries in a very short amount of time.
We don't even know if it's not just the two of us. It's going to also be Archi, and ideally, we know that you and Chine can kind of work together to convince powers combined.
Archie, go ahead and make a presence roll.
To convince.
Oh, nice. Oh my gosh.
Domination!
21.
Pylon.
Hey, look, you reversed the digits. And that shows how much easier Jerr's help has made it.
Aww.
Friendship! With yours and Chime's synergy.
Whoa.
Nice word. Very well used.
We can convince the elemental to leave.
Julian's gonna be like, hold up his finger, be like, alright, hold on to that. When we came in, where did Archie go?
Behind you, with Jerr.
Julian's still gonna be just like holding his finger up, like shaking it backwards, like hold, and he's backing away. Hold on to that. And he's gonna turn around and he's gonna walk up to Archie, and Jerr's still right there. Mm-hmm. He's gonna look over at Jerr and be like, excuse us, whoever you may be.
Jerry just sort of gives him a confused look. Says, okay, whoever you may be.
I'm Julian. I've always been Julian.
I'm Jerr. I've always been, well, not always.
Exactly.
Because I've changed my name.
Exactly. Excuse us, I would like to talk to my friend Archie.
Oh, you said friend.
Friendship.
You all are laying it on thick.
Then Jerry's going to go over to Sam.
So Julian's going to be like, Archie, I understand you wanted to keep your friends safe, and you were worried that if you told your friends that we would not be safe. But I think it is imperative for our safety now that you kind of tell what was your original mission with finding this water elemental. The water elemental of Redneck's near.
Have I not told you?
No.
Has it not been clear? I have to find it to destroy it.
Why?
The power that this elemental holds, I'm not the only one who knows. The capabilities. Why do you think I chose to agree to be despondent from it?
Jerry hears the word despondent. What?
If you want to hear,
yeah, can I?
You're gonna have to go ahead and make me like a perception.
Oh, I got an 8. Nope. I'm distracted by the looks and glares that Sam has given me.
So, Archie, you're telling me this elemental needs to be destroyed so it's not used as a weapon in this war? Because the war is coming. The war is here. The war is going to be fought one way or another. There's no stopping it.
Regardless of the war being stopped or not, the future can be stopped. If there is to be a future, we have to destroy it.
Julian has the sight. Does the elemental in the canister still seem to be struggling? As Archie says that.
No. This is something that Archie 100% believes. Do you mean, is this something that Archie believes from the very beginning? Like, from beyond what happened at the Black House?
Yes.
As far as I know, yes. This is something that Archie has believed from the very beginning of the campaign.
Okay. You can tell Julian's face kind of eases a little bit, and he's going to nod. And kind of glances over at Sam. What is Sam doing?
Standing kind of near Jerr, but with a look of, I have been waiting for this. Sam, has not been waiting for it for that long. Sam is feeling Shade's resolution and the resolve that Shade has, and so Sam is cool as a cucumber over there.
So you see Julian rotate his thing to water.
Hey, Chine.
Gives a nod,
Yeah.
looks at Archie, and says, "All right, let's do this."
We might need your help in here.
With what?
Some convincing.
Okay. Who are we convincing what?
Hey, buddy, it's time for the Rainbow Bridge.
We're convincing Jerr and his elemental to let go.
Jerr, no, I've been waiting to say this. Jerr says, if this is what you need to be healed, I shall do it.
No convincing needed.
Apparently.
Well, how do you know what we're going to do?
I know what is going to happen because Redneck's near and Shade have had this conversation many a time.
So there have been other times throughout the history Shade has met up with this elemental and attempted this.
Before they even came to this planet.
I love it. Okay.
This is, in fact, the 5th time that Zion has been destroyed. All right.
You got to roll persuasion to convince him to let go.
Well, first he's got to connect. He's going to connect to water. Actually, he just pulls out his flask. Pours some in his hand.
I'm going old school.
Yeah, make it a whole lot easier. Tosses the canteen to Sam.
Dumps it. Oh, yeah. That's what I do. Rub it in my hands.
And yeah, I made it. Not a good roll, but I still made it because it was assisted. So much easier. And now I was going to talk to Unity. It's like, so Unity, is it right?
Yes.
That's your name?
Yes.
And he's saying this elementally. There's a war that is imminent.
There has always been a war that is imminent. I have held it back for many centuries. Beyond even on this planet. That probably confused the heck out of you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Julian's like, okay. But apparently you've been at the center of this the entire time. In order to stave off a destruction that is going to be the end of our civilization here on this planet, we've got to remove you from the equation.
All fear what they do not understand.
Look, I fear war that's going to totally destroy humanity.
As do I.
And that seems to be imminent as long as you're in Illix. Not to say that there won't be still a war, because I know very well there will be.
Indeed there will.
But I've got to do whatever it takes to make sure humanity survives. And right now, this is it. And if you truly want humanity to survive as well, you need to leave Jerr.
Jerr says out loud, to all of you, my friends, my companions, and ones that hate, farewell.
Farewell, Jerr.
Is there no way for you to live through this?
Just wait. I have an idea.
Okay. Oh,
Ew.
of course. 27. Still.
I think that'll work.
Okay. So, Unity, before leaving, passes all his skill and knowledge on to Bond. And Bond and Unity separate as they are leaving Jerr. Just as they came together, they separate. And Bond goes off into the ether, finding a new host, full of rage and contempt for the destruction of his longtime companion and newly made friend of Jerr Lan. And Unity says elementally, I'm here to be destroyed. Fight. Says that to Julian, Shade, and Archie.
Wait, okay, so
Sorry, Tom.
visually, what just happened?
Jerr collapsed.
Jerr collapsed.
All the water from his body leaked out through all his pores,
Oh,
and he collapsed in a husk of what he once was.
a mummy.
And Unity made such a swirl that you couldn't tell that Bond was leaving.
Julian has a sight. I'm sorry, that's probably not going to happen for Julian. Julian would be able to tell. Because he can see elementals.
It's
And he can
walls.
tell the
But you
difference
can
be-
tell the difference between the two, so you
know that the one that
they're
they're after is still there.
yeah.
True. Yeah, true. So, seeing that, you see Julian reach into his coat pockets, and he comes out with the gloves on. And he punches Unity as hard as he can. Alright, so I'm rolling brawling.
First one dead.
20. Kitchen punch.
Sounds fun.
So am I rolling physique for damage?
Yes.
Why not? Dropping the last one. Yeah. 25.
Ability.
10.
15 incapacitated. Oh no, that is mortally wounded.
Dead is 16 plus.
Yeah.
But we can't kill, but we can contain
Easily
it.
contain it.
Sam's going to call out to Archie. Archie, I need some fire in here.
Done. And he begins to ignite.
Jerr. So, Unity wants to use his last bit of strength to heal the mind of Shade.
Shade's not damaged.
Shade is damaged.
So you roll your heal minus 2d?
3D.
Yeah, minus 3d.
Yeah.
How many, do you have any fate points?
I got 3 of them.
So
So
times 3.
Julie, after the punch and seeing that the elemental is like down and incapacitated, Julian's gonna back out of the way for everybody else to
Do their thing.
do their thing.
Not a bad roll.
16.
To heal Shade's mind.
Good anger.
As Unity is gasping for breath and Sam and Archie are conjuring this flaming cage of fire, redundant, this flaming cage to contain, Sam feels this cold wash over their entire spirit and soul, and hears in his head, "I'm sorry, Elsa, but it must be this way." to contain this massive ball of fire.
39 plus whatever for fire.
22.
This massive ball of fire kind of forms in the air and swirls into this vortex around the ball that is Unity and gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So it's like this tiny little
pinprick of, it looks like a sun.
and vanishes into like it almost like inverts and just it's gone. Sam says, "Shade wants me to tell both of you thank you."
So you look around. Julian is not there. When he stepped out of the way, he left.
Where's Chine?
Chime was over by the windows, kind of watching the whole thing. And after the little flash of light, he goes over to Jer's body, just to examine the body. You know, obviously there's nothing you can do to heal him or anything, but just treat the dead with respect.
We should probably put him to rest, and then I don't know if we should go our separate ways. I think that's our best chance of survival at this point.
And if we go our separate ways, I know exactly where I would head.
Where's that?
To the Healing Hands camp.
It's probably a good choice. Where are you headed, Archie?
I could always go home.
Home sounds wonderful.
Archie gives you a smile. But I would like to say goodbye to my brother. Where'd he run off to?
I don't know where he went. Julian can be like that at times.
If you look by the door, you see the gloves just laying by the door.
Sam picks him up. Maybe I can get these to someone who can use them.
Archie's going to turn and walk away, and as he's walking out the door, say, "Tell that shade you're welcome." And he walks out the door.
Montage.
So what do we do afterwards? Montage?
Can I go first?
Sure.
Nobody ever sees or hears from Sam again, or Shade, but occasionally you do hear rumors of an operative during the war that is taking out high-value, common, and innate targets. No one knows how they get into or out of the rooms that they're in. Nobody has seen this operative, but people just keep winding up dead throughout the war.
So, I go in search of the Healing Hands camp, where we left them down in the sewers, and they're no longer there. So, I start wandering, just trying to find a way to survive, and eventually, my face is very well known throughout the city, and I get killed on the street, middle of the street. That's somebody saying, "Down with North."
For once, Archie is no more in turmoil with himself or who he has to be, or fighting with another within his chassis. He did take a detour at Healing Hands, searching for who he now calls his brother. Didn't find him. Heads home and lives the rest of his days with Bear, happily.
The bear survived!
So, Bond, after he left, goes and finds a new proxy to host and to bond with, and they end up becoming a leader in the war against the Commons as the vengeful, angry, crashing wave against all those who oppose. His host takes on a name that is like Redneck's, Red Nun, and goes on to lead the war and eventually tracks down where each one of his former party went, just to find out what they've done since.
So, a couple things. Within about an hour of Julian leaving the room where everything went down, both Shade and Archie would have gotten a brief message from Julian, both saying pretty much the same thing, saying that he values the time and friendship that was built, and it's too valuable to stay around to let it be destroyed by what he knows would be us inevitably fighting each other. As the war progresses, there are rumors of times in battle where the proxies pin down a group of innates, but those innates are mysteriously protected by fire.
As the war progresses, an independent group of scientists discover that long-term symbiosis with elements bring about marked changes in personality. When this news becomes known, elementals and proxies are lumped together, and a purist group arises called the Chaste. They divide families, governments, and nations as the war shifts strictly to the innates against the proxies. The world continues to burn.
Thank you for listening to Bone Throwers Theater. Our cast is Aaron, Ellie, Jeff, Jeremy, Johnny, and Jordan. We are releasing this podcast under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 3.0 Unported license. That means you can share the podcast, but please do not modify it or try to gain financially from it. If you would like to visit our website, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater.com. If you would like to send us an email, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle is bonethrowerstheater. You can also look us up on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, may the bones fall ever in your favor. This has been a Nerd Circle podcast production.